Disu, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. And today we're talking aviation, essentially. Olumide is here. Olumide is we like titles. The most distinguished Olumide is the in-house consult. No, I need to look there. There's a bigger word that comes from that. In-house reference point of the Daily Digest. Big title. Come with big salary. Morning, Olumide. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Nigerians.
We're going to talk essentially about this controversy of airpiece being allocated. Is it allocated? Is that the word? Allocated Gatwick Airport instead of Heathrow. Now, those who know about these things would know that Heathrow is one of the busiest airports in the world. I don't know what capacity they have. Much more strategic than Gatwick. Olumide will educate us very quickly about the difference between Gatwick and Heathrow Airport. But before then, there's some breaking news here that has been brought to my attention. It's from the Premium Times, which is a reputable organization, and it says that 3 Nigerian presidential jets, Olumide, have been seized abroad. So the 3 jets are the 2 jets that we had before and the one we just purchased. And a Chinese firm have gotten a court order from us moving any of this. It can't get any worse than this. Do you have any background to this?
Well, just like we got it this morning,
yes.
Was just breaking news that a Chinese firm that had an export processing deal with Ogun State government. Went to court in France, and probably I'm sure they went to France because they saw there was an aircraft that belonged to the federal government there, and got judgment at the French High Court, and asking them that the contract with the Ogun State government was revoked, and based on that, they wanted those federal government aircraft to be held at pending when they can get their $72.5 million. And something with Ogun State and the property of the federal government is being taken over. Well, I think it's a lesson for them. Let's see how they deal with it. Just 2 weeks ago here, Ato Eze company got judgment of $2.5 million against Arumeni Johnson.
Yes.
And it was Arik in receivership, which that now belongs to government, and whose aircraft has been bonded to the owners, that the federal government under the leadership of the honorable minister grounded Arik from flying for a week.
Wow!
Stopped 3 of those aircraft that were listed by this organization from flying, and then you stop those aircraft for about a week. Arik could not fly. Passengers were in a limbo. The prices jacked up almost immediately.
Yes.
Since Eric was joining Ghana in losing capacity.
Wasn't that a bit hasty?
Definitely, because what they told us, I was even in support before, was that there was a Supreme Court judgment. I said, well, if there's a Supreme Court judgment, I have no objection, because whoever was party to that process had all the time High
to
Court,
prepare.
to the High Appeal Court, and to the Supreme Court. And so if now they're implementing it, well, so be it. But then $2.5 million for 3 aircraft, not dead aircraft, functioning aircraft. It becomes it's a no. And then you grounded this aircraft, and you didn't even ask the regulator, the NCAA, to initiate the process of grounding, which was supposed to be the process. It was the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency. The aircraft was loaded with 155 passengers plus crew and was heading out of Lagos.
It was taxiing
out. When Nama refused to give a startup, so the aircraft had to return back to the terminal.
Why do we do this?
This is a back passage. It was not going on international flight. That you can see, the aircraft was going outside the country. It was going on a domestic flight. And that aircraft was returned back to the terminal. The passengers disembarked, and Arik was grounded for a week. In that 1 week, they lost over 4 billion naira. Now, when you look at 4 billion and you look at what you're looking for, the 2.5 million, are you not getting close to it? And only for the same people that granted the ARIC instantaneously to go back and sit down and negotiate with both the Atoyeze and ARIC and ask ARIC to return back to flight. That would have been the first thing.
Before
the ground, it have been in plan A. Maybe they are used to this this musician that says a good plan is a plan A, a better plan is a plan B. But it's wrong, because a plan B is supposed to be a fallback.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a fallback. So he can is it Kiss Daniel?
Never heard
no, a good plan is a plan A. No, a better plan is a plan B. And I said,
I don't listen to that kind of thing.
So I said maybe it's an Indian mentality, but a plan B is a fallback.
See, this is nothing personal, but I do believe that if the president is thinking of a reshuffle, it would be nice to get Kenyamo out of that ministry. He'll be a good minister, I know. I don't have. He's intelligent. He has what it takes. But he is completely insensitive. He's completely insensitive to the things, to the ripple effect of the actions that he takes. Let's get down to this one we're talking about, Heathrow and Gatwick. Very quickly, because time is not our friend. Is Gatwick, is it a death sentence for an airline?
No. I do not agree that Gatwick is a death sentence.
Airlines, okay. Because a lot of airlines have taken an Emirates flight from Gatwick. Yes.
It's not a death sentence.
So what is it about Heathrow that makes Gatwick unpleasurable to the airline?
Well, if you're an airline that looks if an airline that looks beyond dropping passengers in London, they're looking at passengers that can make international connections, they're looking at partnership with other foreign airlines, then Heathrow Airport becomes your best approach to get passengers to go beyond London because of the international flight connections associated with Heathrow Airport. But if you're looking at just passengers that are going to London or other British cities within UK, then you can begin to look at the other London airports and see which one best communicate with your passengers. But if you're looking at passengers beyond London, then it really is your best airport, and that's why you find out that most of the Nigerian carriers want the Heathrow Airport.
But what we hear is that Heathrow is congested. That even some of the major airlines, I don't want to mention names, some of the major airlines have to go and quote and unquote rent some slots of other airlines to be able to use Heathrow, have access to Heathrow Airport. And that's so, because they haven't been able to build an extra runway, the place is congested. And so if it's not available, what do we expect them to do? I'd like you to explain to me.
Heathrow is congested. Heathrow is expensive. Heathrow, you need to buy slots. At times, you need to buy. If an airline says it's leaving, is a stop operation today, you see a lot of people bidding for that slot of that airline. People are waiting to get more slots. Even those who already have slots are waiting to get more slots. But British Airways is inclusive. And I don't want to judge what you do with other partners. What I want us to look at is what is the bilateral air services agreement between your country and my country, and it's from there we can take off.
Yeah, but listen to this. I got this from a contact. It says, Airport Coordination Company Limited is a private company, independent from UKCAA and Government Department of Transport, who have no direct involvement in slot allocation. It's explained to me here that slot allocation is reviewed twice a year and is a business decision. Okay? They use the Worldwide Airport Slot Guide, which is the global foundation used for slot allocation. So who sent this to me tells me that I posted summary of the UK-Nigeria bilateral agreement previously in this group. The bilateral agreement details frequency to destinations, but not specify airports. Okay? Lagos has only one airport, so it's obvious where UK aircraft will fly to. London has 6 airports, and because of slot allocation independence, I don't see the UK Department of Transport or Foreign Office stipulating Heathrow in any renewed bilateral agreement. Under the current regulations, I don't think the UK has that authority. Obviously, there will be interest in the backgrounds and so on and so forth. So the person says, if not already done by Airpeace, I would suggest a marketing and business strategy to obtain a Heathrow slot, as it is more than a simple application. We want to bully them. Our minister wrote a letter, a threatening letter, which is immature, is an immature action and doesn't put us in bad light. To say that if you don't give us Heathrow, we will also throw you somewhere else. Nobody does that. Nobody does that in today's world. You can take some decisions. You can even allocate them to some other airport and say Lagos is full. But the implication will be well known. But I don't know. I don't know if he actually cleared this letter that he wrote with the External Affairs Minister. And by the way, is it the minister that should be writing or the regulators?
Well, it's there are different ways to catch the rat, and I would want to look at all the options open to the Nigerian government this time around. I would also look at all the options open to the Nigerian government this time around. Let me just give you a big background of what had happened in the past. At the time, General Abacha, when he was the head of state, he did something like that. When the British Airways stopped Nigerian airlines from coming, they also stopped the British Airways from coming.
Did he write a letter saying that?
I'm taking you somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And in doing that, the British government had to come down, discuss with Nigeria, and they removed the ban on Nigerian Airways, and Abacha government did the same, and flights resumed. Sometime like about 2 years ago, the immediate past minister, Airpeace was having issues operating to the United Arab Emirates. I think I've said that here before. They asked for in the bilateral service, it says Dubai as point of entry. UAE said there was no space in Dubai and sent them to Sharjah. On sending them to Sharjah, they were even given 3 slots. Then the next thing they came again and said, okay, no, you cannot land at the same time again. You will land at 8 on Monday. On Wednesday, you will land at 10 p.m. On Tuesday, you will land at 3 p.m. Who does that 3 different times? And because you look at, is it because Airpeace is not owned by the government that you don't want to recognize it? Because it's the important, irrespective of the owner of an aircraft, how you handle your management or ownership or corporate governance is your business here. But once you ask an airline to leave, a scheduled airline to leave Nigeria for any country outside Nigeria, it becomes your flag. I must have all the protection for the Ministry of Aviation, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the embassy, Nigerian embassy, and whatever powers that the government has must be used to protect that carrier.
Should those powers be brazen?
I'll come. I'm taking you somewhere now. When
I'd just like to know the destination to be sure that
I'll come back to England.
As they are taking me to Benin, you are not using the Google map of Benin Republic.
No. Now, and it was when after a long protest, Virgin Nigeria was on that route. They had to withdraw due to this unfriendly attitude of the Emirates and the subsidy given to the Emirates airline. When the minister now wrote to the Arab Emirates, this is an airline that was operating 2 flights into Lagos and 1 into Abuja. That's three times a day.
Yes.
And you cannot give our own a spot in Dubai. And just when he wrote, I said from the ending of the month that he should stop one of the flights in Lagos and 1 into Abuja. You know, within 3 weeks, the slots that were not available in Dubai surfaced. And Airpeace was not granted. But shortly after that, giving Airpeace the access to Dubai, that was when the visa ban and
so they caught us on another.
They caught another, and everybody stopped operating.
Can you tell me
now? Coming back to London, yes. I'm taking somewhere. Stella Odua also had issues then with the British airport authorities not giving Adik enough slots, and they are operating into Abuja. And she tried the same method, writing and said it was going to ban Adik. When you want to deal with the British Airways or British government with respect to British Airways, the first set of saboteurs are Nigerians themselves. There are some Nigerians who have put everything into British Airways. So once you say you want to touch British Airways, you see that the first fight will be from Nigerians themselves, elite Nigerians, politicians, stop Nigeria, saying, no, don't even go there. So this time around, Letter worked with Dubai. Letter worked with the
not letter. What's the content?
Letter from the minister to the British government worked. Letter from the minister from Nigeria to the British government worked. Then will it work now? It depends on how they play the game. I don't think letter alone from the honorable minister will do the magic.
I did not ask letter alone. Do you think the content of that is not a letter? There's nothing wrong with a letter, but if the letter contains a direct threat, is what I'm talking about. Because I say so, is it only Nigeria that faces this kind of problem all the time? And what is wrong with us that we keep it's always a recurring decimal? There must be something that we need to also examine in ourselves.
Yep.
Are we not positioning ourselves well?
But if you look at it, for those who have come after Nigerian Airways to operate those flights, they have disappointed in schedule reliability. They have disappointed in payments of services provided, and that has come back to haunt Nigerian Airlines.
Because I've seen a Nigerian, I think it was in New York some time ago. I can't remember which. I don't want to talk about which airline it was. And apart from the fact that they were in an isolated area, it was so rowdy, it was filthy, it was, and therefore, and look, listen, these airports themselves are commercial enterprises. If you had something attractive enough, you will not be treated in such a manner. So we probably need to re-examine ourselves too.
Maybe we'll go back to the bilateral service agreement. The bilateral service agreement keeps changing, and everybody have their issues. In the past, it was only Nigerian Airways. Later, they designated 2 carriers from each country, dual designation, and today they have given 4 airlines. In Nigeria, for the Nigerian sector, they gave it to Air Peace, Omni Blue, Nigerian Air that has not been born, and United Nigeria. Those are the 4 people on our list to represent Nigeria. Omni Blue has never.
Before we go on the break, just from what you hear, has either Ghana Airways or Ethiopia Airlines or any of the other countries from our own region, have they experienced the same thing? Is it the same with Ethiopian Airlines?
Ethiopian Airlines have never broken that.
Kenya Airways
have not broken that operational period. So if it is when you break or lose that slot, to get it back becomes a problem. But you see, we can still get a slot in Heathrow. IAPIS has been applying since 2019, and I'm sure there's some type of politics in it. Okay, you are owing some money, but you are not sure of schedule reliability.
Who is owing some money?
Based on the experience of past Nigerian carriers, that's what has been meted on. If what the bilateral services says that you operate, we're giving them Lagos, Abuja, and Kano. They gave us London and Manchester. But we now said in London, Heathrow or any other airport. That's the part that is making it you cannot use.
It says that Heathrow
or any other airport.
Okay.
But Heathrow was specifically mentioned. So with that they are open to whatever is available. But you do the honorable minister is a lawyer, and that's why they don't want to use the word threatening letter, because if anyone have seen the bilateral service agreement knows where it's going. But I feel that when we are dealing with a foreign government, the honorable minister should not go alone. There's a need to go through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There's a need to put some level of diplomacy. The threatening of tit for tat could work under Abacha was a military regime. We're talking about the civil regime. I just told you now that I tried it and it did not work. But we can squeeze BA.
We need to take a break.
Okay.
Before you squeeze BA, I got to take a short break, and then we'll be right back.
You see why I said they protect Nigerians are even protecting.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. Yo, it's time to switch up your streaming and social media experiences. Introducing the Glow My G bundle, the first all-in-one social and music bundle. It's the perfect bundle for texting, snapping, streaming, sharing, vibing, and everything you love doing online. With My G bundle, you get the data deals for Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Boomplay, Audiomack, and Glow TV, all in one bundle. Now you can make every naira count with affordable all-in-one data bundles with Glow My G. Get 1 gigabyte for 300 naira, 1.5 gigabytes for 500 naira, and 3.5 gigabytes for 1,000 naira on the Glow My G bundle. Plus, you also get 1 hour of free browsing on your favorite apps. That's Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Boomplay, Audiomack, and Glow TV. Dial *312# to start making every naira count with the Glow My G bundle. T's and C's apply.
Glow Unlimited.
Hold up! Everyone wanted in on all the exclusive footage and gist on BB Niger. We got you. The buzz is back. Back to following all the gossip, breakups, breakdowns. Back to giving us spicy banter, bigger secrets, and inside scoops from the BB Niger house. Follow me, Tokemaki. Follow me on BB Niger, The Buzz, streaming every Thursday on Showmax. Subscribe only from 1,600 naira. Sign up now at showmax.com. No lose guard.
He done trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby?
Jerry, now you they talk like this? Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I don't know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said
HFM.com.
Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Then say health na wealth, but when person they arranging health, can't lose one hand, one leg. Yeah. Abi na when you dey hospital, they come tell you say you must drop heavy money first before they even think of to begin any treatment. Yeah.
But when Avon HMO Tandagidiba with you, you no go dey shout yekba, cause last now all of us need people. Visit avonhealthcare.com now to get Avon Health Plan for you and your people.
Avon HMO, empowering you to live a healthier, full.
Tell me which kind thing Viva no fi wash away. Jenna tomato paste, the coffee stain your body. Viva go wash away. Chicken for your clothes now, all you need for Viva to wash away. Gentle for your pocket, gentle for your hand. Oh my Viva, you couldn't make you shine. Oh Viva, oh I love my Viva, Uncle say bye bye to a very tough stage, yo. Mama say bye bye to any kind stage, yo.
When you want it easy and you don't know where to go for your food and groceries, there's an app you need to know. Everything you need and more. Mano gets it. Mano gets it. One app. All you need. Mano gets it. From your phone to your door. Mano gets it.
Download the Mano app on Google Play Store or iOS App Store to order your essentials from groceries, food, and more. Mano, products you love delivered in minutes.
Day 4 of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions will pit fan favorites against one another. A 4 o'clock, Handsome Emerald and Ogunaye Ayomide will face off on the topic: should career choices be driven by personal interests or job market demands? At 5 o'clock, Bedford Friday Fortune and Oluwalade Demilade will go head-to-head on the topic: is the creation of a livestock ministry by the Nigerian government a necessary step for agricultural development and food security? So far, judges have picked 3 wildcards and have 1 more slot to give. Who will get it? Well, I am Yvonne Okhaifo. Join Femi Obang-Daniels and me to find out on Thursday. Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ Tournament of Champions. 16 debaters, now 13. 1 winner, 2 million naira. For sponsorship, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, a Tournament of Champions.
You are listening to your number 1 station for talk.
Your number 1 station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
You're listening to Jimi Disu right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the Daily Digest, and I still have Olumide here of the Aviation Roundtable. What's the Aviation Roundtable, sir? Who are you people? Who describe?
It's Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative.
Okay, it's made up of
pilots,
pilots,
aka ART, shortened to Aviation Roundtable. It's made up of different professionals in the industry, variant professionals from different backgrounds, from the.
So to be a member, what do
oftentimes, once you have shown some experience within the industry, then you can apply. What we don't accept is those who are still working in any of the agencies.
They have to wait till
but anybody working in any particular airline, we don't accept those, because we don't want anybody to compromise our positions when we take some decisions.
At the time this current agreement was signed, was there any airpiece in the horizon?
Yes, airpiece is not even a problem. Airpiece is there. Airpiece is operating.
No, but were they in existence?
Yes.
When this?
Yes.
Because yes. I want to know. But had they indicated interest to go to the UK?
A long time. They've been requesting for it since 2019. One thing is to request, one thing is if you are ready, but they have to go through a lot of process, certification, auditing by both the Nigerian and the British authorities. And some of this cost them a lot of money. But now that they are ready, and they said they still want the Heathrow, then I think they should see as much as possible how they can get it. It is not for me to sit down and say, why do they want the Heathrow? And I don't want people to condemn Airpeace for wanting Heathrow. It is their business.
No, but nobody would.
It is their business plan. They've seen their business, and their business plan is going to work with.
In fact,
but again, there may be another politics in it. If you look at that most of the flight now from Airpeace is operated by this Nordic Air, an aircraft owned by an European airline. Maybe because of that.
Wait. You talk very fast, so I need to. And our people are not that conversant with the industry. So Airpeace, they're not actually flying their own planes that they own.
For the flights, so yes.
Could that be a problem?
That might be a problem that is not yet pronounced. That maybe when push becomes shoves, the British authorities okay, well, this better service between your country and myself. I can see another airplane here from another European country who's going to be making more revenue. So this might also be an issue that might come up. But definitely, I like the push. I like the push from the Honourable Minister. I also want to see the push from the Civil Aviation Authority, because at the moment, Airpeace is made to pay 2 months ahead for they call it security charge in case there's a problem and they stop operation.
Isn't that reflective of the experience? 1 second,
okay.
Please. Isn't that reflective of the experience with other Nigerian airlines in the past?
Exactly. So, I agree, but you cannot put the punishment of Mr. Jimmy on Mr. Olumide.
No, but it's a country.
If it is your responsibility in your dealings to ensure that Mr. Jimmy does not go. You are telling me if we both bank with First Bank, and because you have done this, then I should also be punished for that.
I don't bank with First Bank.
Or whatever bank you bank with. But for me, I feel if they ask Airpeace to pay 2 months 2 months 2 months ahead for services that are not yet rendered, then that should also be applied here in Nigeria to the British carriers, asking all the service providers to collect 2 months ahead. But holding airpiece money for services that are not be given to me is a bit stringent.
Isn't that a bit of a reflection of the fact that in the past, some of the airlines in the past had defaulted?
Well, that's why I brought the example of Mr. Jimmy and Mr. Olumide.
And so when you run a business and your customers from a particular point keep defaulting, you don't think that you want to put in a safeguard?
But the safeguard would not allow you. Well, if you want to put a safeguard, we can also request for the safeguard. And I can tell you, one of the reasons why you have not seen that Heathrow is that if they are going to give us Heathrow, and like the man who wrote and talked about the ACL, and asked us to pay for anything, put any charge on it, which is expected, we would also have to reflect that same charge in our own airports that are not there.
Yeah, I mean
because that's only
fair enough.
Yes, fair enough. So that would also happen.
Why didn't we do a quiet tit for tat?
Exactly.
Instead of a direct threat.
Yes, I would have expected the NCA, because if you look at the bilateral, it says if airlines need to, if there are any issues relating to their operations, they should liaise with the CAA in England. I would expect that would have been the job of the NCA here, working with FAN to see how they can begin to do some little squeeze here that will send a message.
It has always been,
and that squeeze must be on the British carrier.
It has always been the minister's style to want to be in the forefront. I just want at the end of
the key at the end of every bilateral.
1 second, please.
Okay.
At the end of the day, this thing is beyond the aviation industry, and I'd like to belong to a country where things are properly done, and you have a standard. And I think it's this lack of standard that always gets us into trouble. Honestly, that always gets this lack of standard. Today you're dealing with this, so sorry, tomorrow you're dealing with that. I think a lot of care needs to be taken, and sensitivity. Yeah.
Maybe that Chinese company saw what happened to the care, and also said, "Oh, why? If they can do it to their own, I can do it to us." And I went for the presidential jet in France.
What's going to happen to our 3 aircraft now?
The government should see how they will sort that out. Let us look at what that concerns Nigerians.
So
Nigerians wants to fly to England. Nigeria wants to fly at a very good rate. They want to have cheaper fares, and I think that is what should be a priority right now, because the fares, even the airpiece that is on that route now, the fares is jacking up every day. So we need to see how Nigerians can get more frequencies.
Are those fares justifiable, do you think?
Well, yes. If you look at the cost of fueling,
yes.
If you look at the exchange rate, if you look at the charges, if you look at the cost of insurance, and all, like you said, like they said, and the collecting money for security, that's money for security that Nigerians really has affected. Has affected our relationship with leasing companies and also insurance companies. They've all jacked up the rates they offer to Nigerian airlines.
They're high risk.
High risk, and when these rates are put on everything you want to use for operations, it's only the ticket that suffers.
Okay, on a professional level, is it wise to run international routes on chartered planes?
Well, when you say chartered planes,
no, because I know
on lease. Let's
on lease planes. Sorry, not chartered.
Now, lease planes are either wet lease or dry lease. It is when you put dry lease, then you have your crew money, give you money employment,
which is fair enough.
But when you have wet lease, everything is provided by the company. You also have damp lease, whereby maybe they put the cockpit crew, the general part put the cabin crew. But whichever lease you are doing, everybody, it is generally known that lease is a stopgap. It is not supposed to be a plan A. It's a plan B, and you should be looking at maybe max of 6 months of using that lease, whereby you make provisions for your own equipment. And we are counting this. But when you go on a permanent lease and the lease is running to 1 year, then it becomes unprofitable. It's not that you are not really unprofitable. It might be profitable, but the profit is reduced, and you are not sharing that profit with a third country. And that might hurt the person who are having maritime services agreement with, saying, look, why would you a third country come in? It happened when Virgin Nigeria wanted to go to US. And the US said no. And the US said no. That Virgin Atlantic, that has this percentage is blocking SS entry for us on the US London route. They would not use Virgin Nigeria to get extra profit. So it might be that might be the politics playing out too.
I see.
It might be
the where Airpeace lease their aircraft from is an airline.
It's an airline, yes, a Norwegian airline.
Oh, I see.
In Europe, yeah.
And so the registration of the aircraft and whatever will carry that.
Exactly. The crew, even their crew, operate it.
Their crew. Okay.
So whichever way, the Norwegians are benefiting from that bilateral air services agreement.
Let me play with your mind a little bit.
Play with our minds.
Your mind, yes. Supposing Airpeace actually owned these planes outright, would we have this problem? Because from what you're saying now, anything granted Airpeace is granted to the Norwegian airline. Well, they will come in the way.
Maybe there will be some soft landing for us in that area. It might be, But I am of the opinion that the leasing of an European airline might be part of the issues. They might not have said it, but looking at what has happened in the politics in almost other countries, it might also be an issue that we need to look at. All these are supposed to be for a short period, maybe 5-6 months. People can overlook it, but when you're having leases that are running to 1 year, over a year, then we say no, something is wrong
becoming
here.
A permanent feature.
So I think, but I am in support that Nigerian airlines should be granted access. For those who need access to Heathrow Airport, then they should be granted access. You cannot carry the sins of the grandfather onto the grandchildren.
Some Christians will disagree with you. They call it
that's Old Testament.
Delay.
Yeah, that's Old Testament, not this.
They call it generational sins. 0201 277 0993. Is the line working, okay?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So nobody should sneak to call the female line.
No need.
Okay, the female line for females, for the Mrs. Obolis of this world, 0201 465 7190. And sorry. Yes.
And you said Mrs. Oboli. I thought, okay, is that the passport woman that is Oboli?
No. Those ones, you know that it turns out that the husband brought out an announcement today begging everybody that it was a skit. Very irresponsible.
Very irresponsible.
At a sensitive place like the airport.
Yeah. And you had to wait for this long to. What's really surprised was why she was not even arrested that day on the spot.
How did she walk away?
Yes, how was she allowed to walk away?
Then the airport needs to investigate. It was a security breach because it means that they were part, and they saw people. They saw the person filming it. It means that if they were part of, there's a security breach.
My first reaction that was that look, the way the husband was behaving, they're both in this deal. I didn't even know it was a Nigerian passport. I thought it was one foreign passport. I said no, there's something wrong here. But then sharing a passport, at least now everybody now knows that the passport is an important document and does not belong to you. And that's even when you bring cops from abroad into the country, they take the passport to where they open the casket and to identify. Is it this person? And say, yes, this is passport. You are allowed to carry the casket away, but the immigration take the passport from you. And takes it back and goes back to the government.
No, I believe that. I believe for them to have walked away. Anyway, we now know that it's a skit. Obviously, some of the people in uniform there were complicit.
No,
I believe they should be thoroughly interrogated.
Yes, exactly.
And whatever charges as far as dereliction of duty and the security, international airport, for God's sake. But it's a security breach.
At what time?
Supposing it was done to divert attention from bringing some other things in.
At what time? At what time did they realize what they skid? Why didn't they say that all the while?
No, but this thing needs a further probe.
There's a lot
of questions to be answered. How are we sure that it wasn't used as a diversion to bring in some other things?
I was surprised she was allowed to walk away that day without.
It was obvious that everybody laughed at it. It means that there was somebody in the know. And it could be something more sinister than we are thinking.
We'll wait for the investigation.
I think that, so there needs to be a thorough for it to happen, especially at the international airport. My God. Okay, so our lines are open 0201 2770993. Which number is that? You can't call now. Look at it. Switch off your phone. 02 and the female line 0201 465 7190. Do we have anything on WhatsApp, Mr. Sheriff? Or 0809 597 5805?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So what if eventually we don't get Heathrow? What happens?
Well, they will continue operating Gatwick. They've been asking for Heathrow since about 3 years now, and they've gotten Gatwick. The idea of getting out was okay. People said, look, don't keep waiting. Go and use Gatwick to start. I give it to AP. They did not want to start the operation without getting access to Heathrow. They didn't want to. They were practically forced because of the IFS to see that to see Nigerians, the Nigerian airline out on that route to see whether fares can drop. That's how they had to say, we'll take Gatwick while we continue to pursue the Heathrow. They've not given up on Heathrow, and it's Heathrow they want. And if they ask for Heathrow, I think, which is their right, yes, which they are entitled to, if they then
okay,
so
we have
be
a
it.
caller. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
This is Captain Horace calling.
Horace, morning. How are you?
Yeah, just a correction to what Mr. Olumide had said.
Yes.
The Norwegian carrier who was flying for Arik, it was a 3-month contract. And presently, Airpeace are operating all the London frequencies on their own 777.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So that Norwegian contract was for 3 months, which ended in May.
Okay.
Of this year. Subsequently, since then, they've been operating their own Nigerian registered 777s with all Nigerian crews to London Gatwick.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, I agree with him. Yes, I know him. I know him very well. Thank you, Captain. That's kept me sorry. Thank you.
But then the argument you've been putting forward in that direction is because you think that maybe it's the Norwegian, whatever it is. But if they're now operating their own crew, it changes the story entirely.
And that's why I have never objected to the fight. Remember, I have never objected to the position of the minister.
Nobody is objecting to the fight. It's the modus operandi that we're saying.
I've always said that the other alternate methods should also be added to it. The letter is not enough. For the letter to be more effective, we need to go along with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Nigerian Embassy, make it more diplomatic. Why don't the other part, you have to use the other one, the African one. The NCA, the fan must start some squeezing too.
Okay, so
I'm not just wait for the letter alone.
Maybe for clearance, I also need to state that, of course, I'm very happy that I have a Nigerian airline going there. And no, I haven't objected to the fight. What my objection or observation is that some things can be done sometimes in a subtle manner and achieve the same thing. You can use, just as they've used regulation. Now, we don't even know if this is a country-to-country thingy.
It's supposed to be a country-to-country
No, what I'm saying is that we don't know if the problem is between Nigeria and the UK. We don't know. But let's try and see if we can squeeze them on some fronts. These things, some of them are beyond us, to be honest, Olumide. The origins of some of these fights, you really don't know. A lot of international politics could be involved. They could be doing this on behalf of another. No, the shenanigans are far and wide. But I'm just saying that I like that subtlety. It achieves a lot more. Because sometimes if you do bravado and your bluff is called, what do?
We'll continue with you. You continue to hit the bravado button.
You go,
or you probably push more of it.
You go take British Airways from Ilorin.
Or you probably push the subtle button and then simmer down on the bravado. But like I said, bravado has worked in some places. It has worked in the past. It might not work now. Because like I said, you have Nigerians within who say, no, do not touch British Airways. What I know
is bravado.
If you touch the Abuja flight of British Airways, the National Assembly will come after you.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But you see,
but sometimes if you are not careful, if they don't catch you on the narrow,
they'll catch you on the bend.
So we need to be, a lot of care needs to be taken. Things of diplomacy are extremely delicate. If you put a call through to, it's a pity I don't have his. If you go a call through to somebody like Professor Bolaji Akinyemi and he opens it up, you and I will be starry-eyed. Oh, we never even thought of that. It's beyond the airline business. This incident, little as it is in the scheme of things, is beyond the airline business. It's international politics.
Well, I think that's what it was crafted. Said Heathrow or any other airport. But now the episodes they want Heathrow. We must find a way of getting them some slots there. We must. One thing is for them to get it now. Then they help you sustain it. It is their actions, their operations, their schedule liability, the ability to keep it. That once you get it, you don't lose it. You only lose it when you do not have, when you suspend the operations or when your operations become irrational. And I don't think we would ever go back to that stage again in the Nigerian aviation industry.
There's something on Facebook that I'd like Sheriff to read out.
Yes, Kingsley Ugo says Kingsley is reacting to the lady that tore something, and Kingsley says, first, whatever she tore doesn't look like a passport. The texture of the passport makes it very difficult to just to be shredded. Very irresponsible couple, all the same. We have indeed taken skit and content to a very disturbing degree.
So who do we call? Who do we? This is a bit out of your own alley, and it's a bit out of mine. But who do we call to control this new phenomenon of skates and pranks and whatever? Definitely, it must be brought under some kind of control. Sheriff, do you have an idea?
I don't have an idea.
If the sheriff doesn't have an idea, who then would have an idea?
So what I do know,
sheriff is your gap. Sheriff is your gap pata here.
No, that's not true.
Is it numero uno? Is it alpha? Is the beginning and the end?
I'm going. Let's end this program. I do know that there is a body. It's called Archon. They regulate advertisement. They also regulate skit makers as well in Nigeria here.
By law?
By law, yes, by law. So the skit makers by law should have to get permission from them first before putting out their content. By law. I mean, they've had, what do you call it now? They've I can't remember the name, but they've had this program all across the country, bringing skit makers together to, and even people, advertisers generally, to educate them on.
But I even thought there was a law against using cameras in the airport.
Oh, I'm not.
That would not be fair.
I'm not sure.
Everybody,
I'm not sure.
Sorry,
no. I don't. Nigeria had that law.
No, Nigeria has that law. No. You have the law in some airports in the UK. You've seen it there. No photographs. It's in an insignificant. And ask yourself very, very well. In certain areas, you people shy away. These ones were shooting it. They were not even just taking photographs of welcome back. They were shooting it. And it's, for me, it's a serious security lapse on the part of the security people who are there. They could have been diverted for purposes of a more sinister whatever.
Sheriff, I think it would be difficult for me to believe that was not a passport. If it was not a passport, then the Nigerian immigration shouldn't have taken us for a ride for all this for the past 2 weeks.
Right.
I know, but from what I saw on the social media this morning, she just landed in Abuja this morning with some immigration officials, and they were going to the.
Yes, I think
I
saw the video yesterday.
It's beyond immigration. If it's beyond immigration,
but
it's a serious security issue. No, they initiated it, yes, but
Mr. Jimmy.
No, I'm not trying to put anyone.
Don't add more to their problem.
I'm not adding. No. I take exception to that because it's not personal. I take exception to that.
Okay.
Olumide.
Yeah.
And listen good. You are talking of the security of a nation. It looks so simple, but it could have been, if you've watched enough movies, you will know that diversion, it could have been a sinister to let somebody could have slipped into our country with that. So I take exception to the fact that you think I want to add to their problem. Their problem is insignificant. What is most important is the security of the nation.
We have to go.
I totally agree.
We have to go.
I totally agree with you.
I want to fire this man.
I totally agree with that. The security is important.
Anyway, I got to go.
But I think the couple are going through a lot now, and they will never make that mistake again. Never.
Well, they brought it upon themselves. They brought it upon themselves, and we need to secure a nation. You know.
Now we all know how important that green passport is.
It's very important. I even think beyond the passport. That's not a we got to go. Olumide, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Tomorrow I'm going to be talking to a gentleman who is in Japan about their food security program. So it's something you might want to listen to. Thank you very much, Olumide. Thank you very much, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
My name is Jimi Disu. I'll see you tomorrow.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99. .3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.